Hey, what's up, Mudball Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good today on all the reasons I'm destroying this hobby, taking a sledgehammer, just breaking it apart, bringing up the whole establishment, floorboard by floorboard, panel by panel, hanging lamp by hanging lamp, exhibit F. I think we're on F right now. Voila. CSR cards, the VMAX Climax ones. You may know these from the trainer gallery. These are like alternate arts. But for poor people, these are the poor people alternate arts. These are the ones you poors can afford. There's your Umbreon right there. You're not getting the one going to the moon. That's for you right there with some unwanted trainer right there as well. This is always my counter argument for when people say people generally like alternate arts and they go up in price for their art. I always bring up these cards as a counter argument to that, and people are like, oh, well, I mean, they're great arts, but I mean, these ones are more. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think people pick certain cards, hype them up, pump them up, and there you go. That's what it's going to be. There you go. Have fun. My counter argument. Anyway, speaking of pumping up and speaking of things, we're going to be talking a little bit about that. I'm sure you've noticed, especially if you've been paying attention, that English booster boxes are kind of going a little nutso butso right now. Evolving Skies is very clearly leading the charge. And videos and Reddit posts have started popping up left and right talking about all kinds of boxes. If you're new here, you may not understand what's going on. You may see certain box sets that people talked about kind of recently. That was a little bit ago, right? Where they were just no good, a little trash. There's not really too many good pulls them. The pull rates in it's absolutely garbage. And now you're seeing people prying and going after those booster boxes. Along with Evolving Skies, you got other couple contenders that are really fucking going at it right now. You got Fusion Strike, everyone's favorite meme set, Fusion Strike. You see, you got that shit going on right now. Yes, there's some good cards in it. I like the set. I always thought that set was kind of weird though, because a lot of the continuity of it, the actual cohesiveness of it, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Yes, they put the Mew and the Mew VMAX in there, but like Gengar being in there, Espeon being in there, fucking like Sandaconda and the Celebi, those ones are super weird and out of pocket because they're promo cards in Japanese. They just grabbed all the excess promos and just threw them in Fusion Strike. That's kind of why the set feels weird. You got that one. You got a lot of people talking about Lost Origins, which is going to be the Giratina set. Fantastic card. It's got that. There's the Aerodactyl, the Galarian Berserkers in there, and then Rotom. Rotom's my favorite actual SAR. Excuse me. There was no SARs in Sword and Shield, so it was just a regular full art alternate art that came in that set. Rotom is the cool one. There's a few of them that existed in that set. Pretty cool. That's one that people are going real nutso butso for right now. I can see that going up. And the last one, this one of those people were kind of prying at it a little bit. This is going to be Chilling Reign. There are some people really, really trying to get this one going, getting it flowing. And it's not the first fucking time people have tried to do that. The art in it is great. I do personally think it's a good set, especially its Japanese counterpart, Matchless Fighters. I think that set fucking rocked. I think it was great. It had the Calorexes, the Shadow Rider, and the Ice Rider. It had the Galarian Bird Trio, such as the Moltres, Articuno, Zapdos. Zapdos being my favorite for the running Kazooie like kicking chicken. And then, of course, it had the Blaziken. The Blaziken's a really good one as well, where it's, teaching to the little Sobble line on top of the little dojo when it's VMAX, Gigantamaxed all up, right? So, those are the sets people are really going for right now. I've seen some weird takes floating around for these boxes. I've seen weird stuff. Twice Baked Jake, of course, had a pretty good one. He was talking about like Evolving Skies possibly getting restocked here soon. Those boxes are currently sitting $600-700, and he said he can't recommend anybody to pick them up. I kind of agree on that part, but the reason he's not recommending it is he's saying there's always a possibility for a reprint or a restock to pop up, and then you're just gonna lose money. And like, dog, on Evolving Skies of all sets, dude, there's so many other sets that I think are more likely to get a fucking restock over that one. I think Sword and Shield base is probably more likely than that. Vivid Voltage is probably more likely for that to happen. Fusion Strike's probably more likely for that to happen. Fucking Brilliant Stars, any of that fucking year 3 set, I think any of that is way more likely than Evolving Skies. That shit's dropped on Pokemon Center like 4 or 5 times. And even if that did drop, do you know what? You want to know how fucking bad that would be bugged? Do you want to know like how many people would be ready to fucking get as much of that stock as they can? Get it up on Drip, get it up on whatnot, get it up on their pages? Dude, the regular person's going to have a very hard time getting that, even if there is a restock on the Pokemon Center, whatever the fuck he said. Just a very weird take to have. So for new people, you're not really going to understand what's going on here, but this stuff happens every single time there's a new like generation. So Scarlet and Violet right now, if you're a collector and you're going to this stuff, you probably noticed the Money Bros are going going like, oh, Scarlet and Violet kind of stinks right now. It's a little bit stinky. There's no good pulls. No one really likes these Pokemon like Roaring Moon and Screamtail and all this. There's no real pull to it except for 151. That's the set you need to sink your fucking money into. Like, you're going to notice a lot like that. That exact same thing happened in Sword and Shield. It was the exact same conversations. Oh, no one likes these stupid starters. Oh, these alternate arts aren't really that good. Why are they picking such weird ones and all that stuff? Until Evolving Skies showed up, and then everyone and their mother lost their fucking mind going after that stuff. Eevee Heroes, Evolving Skies, you could put them in the same fucking boat, just switch the language, right? And that was the big set everybody said was the only thing going for it in actual Sword and Shield. Now you've got other sets that are popping up. It's the exact fucking same thing that happened with Sun and Moon, only there wasn't quite as many like fake fans in quite at the time, so it kind of fluctuated a little bit with how people felt about it. Burning Shadows was up there for a little bit. You had Celestial Storm that was up there. Team Up was pretty good. Cosmic Eclipse, and then of course Hidden Fates. There were so many sets in actual Sun and Moon that were floating around that were really good contenders for stuff. I personally thought Sun and Moon had a lot of good cards in it. I mean, the pull rates now compared to like then, people are going to complain about that stuff, but the actual quality and good times those cards had, in my personal opinion, kind of, I don't think you're really going to beat too much of what Sun and Moon did with how it felt to pull certain cards. But I do like Scarlet and Violet a good little bit. But this whole bashing of the actual generations, this whole thing is centrifugal. It happens with every generation. You're going to start seeing that stuff popping up with Scarlet and Violet here too. You're going to see, give it like 2 more years. You're going to see people going like, oh, man, Obsidian Flames was actually really good. Oh, whoa. Paradox Rift was actually pretty legit, and you're going to see people like grabbing more box set stuff, holding on to it. The reason why people are doing that stuff now is because it's the fucking thing to do. They're going back and trying to get the money they can on the previous generations on the stuff they were sitting on. There was a lot of people sitting on product. There was a lot of people actually hoping that this stuff would happen. I mean, anyone who's been here longer than fucking 3 years knows this happens. You just have to wait enough time for fucking stuff to happen. But why is this happening with boxes and not really so much singles? Why isn't the Umbreon VMAX and the Rayquaza VMAX just skyrocketing? Why isn't Gengar just fucking flying straight off, right? Some of those prices have actually decreased on the single cards. Well, product is going to be king for this stuff for 3 big different reasons. Number one, it just has so many more fucking places to go now. For example, you have like not only for collectors now, you can take this shit to Whatnot and Drip and auction it off. You can be that motherfucker. You can go to like these card shops and stores and like fucking like the Collecticons and things like that and actually have that product go there. And then, of course, the big one is you have content creators for days. So how do you make an interesting opening card video? Well, nowadays, you're going to need something that actually draws people in. Not just like one type of person, as many people as possible. The money bros, the collectors, people that like the Pokemon cards, people like the art. And big sets like that are always going to do it. Evolving Skies is going to be the one, and now it's going to be Fusion Strike, and of course, maybe possibly, fucking, what is it, Lost Origin, Brilliant Stars. I do think that one eventually is going to fucking probably do it too. You got Chilling Reign. You got basically a lot more places where these boxes could go, as in back in the day, it was most like, okay, I'm sitting on this product for myself, I'm waiting to see if collectors actually want this stuff later on, and of course, stuff did go up as time went on in price and value and all that stuff, as stock went, like, you know, down and people's demand for stuff went up, but it didn't have this crazy explosive nature that you're seeing with Evolving Skies now. Another big reason why this stuff is happening is, I mean, it's just the pump cycle, man. People aren't getting the same returns they were getting in Japanese cards. They now need a reason to fucking, like, get money somewhere else, so they're back to trashing Japanese and other language cards. They're just fucking outright just being like, man, fuck Japanese cards, man, fuck that shit. Fuck these fucking cards, man. Man, it was just a bubble. I told all you the whole time. Yeah, a bubble that you motherfuckers caused. You motherfuckers did that. And people who tried to warn people about that stuff, such as myself, got laughed at and told, no, the money's in Japanese cards now. Yeah, well, look at it now. Look what fucking happened now. Yes, there's some cards that are still expensive, but people have dropped that shit faster than Andy dropped Woody in fucking Toy Story. Like, that shit happened mad quick. And people are going over to English Booster Box. Don't do that, because that's where the money is. That's what it is. It's the cycle. It's going to happen. If you're just enjoying opening Pokemon cards, I really do think you should do that. Open your Scarlet and Violet. Open your Sword and Shield. Go back and get some of your fucking chases from Sun and Moon. Go back and get XY stuff. Go back as far as you want. Enjoy what you gotta do. But if you're new and you're seeing this and you're a little confused about what's going on, about these previously trashed sets, it's just the cycle, man. We're just in that part of the cycle now where people are like, oh, Sword and Shield? I loved Sword and Shield the whole time. And they didn't. They were fucking trashing the shit out of it. I remember it. You could probably go back and find some of their previous videos. They're like, oh, this set's not really that good. But no, Fusion Strike. Now you got people going to fucking stores, and instead of just looking for Evolving Skies and products, like, whoa, this shit got Fusion Strike in it? Bro. And they're doing like the soy face on their fucking YouTube thumbnails for looking for Fusion Strike of all sets now, and like Lost Origin. That's where we're at now. So that's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin. See you later. Hope this helped, especially if you're new here. For us old heads, the people have been here a while, you already know what the fucking deal is. It's that time again. Have a good one, Virgins. Woo! Go to Walmart and look for some Fusion Strike, baby.